And for those of you new to me, I am Karen Lustrup, and I am an astrologer, and I post monthly forecasts. So if you haven't been listening to yours, please feel free to go to my channel at Pleiades Stars and listen to your monthly forecasts. So be sure to subscribe just so you can get in here every week. We're going to have a new chapter which will bring new insights to you. I'm going to start you off with a couple of videos here right now just so you can get a feel for it. But then every Sunday it will be scheduled to be released directly to your inbox so that you can follow with us and what we are doing here. So have a good one, everyone, and let's just go to the first video here. We're starting off here looking at your lifeline, and we want it to be healthy. We want it to kind of go around here, the whole mount of Venus, and the deeper it is, the longer it is, the better your health. If there's loops, potholes, if there's splits and chains, never a good sign here for your state of health. Now, we start off early in life up here, and we age as we go down this direction. And normally they say that around here we're like 80 years old. But then again, say if you're in your 30s, you're looking ahead, and there might be a split, a break, a big chain, a big loop, something. Well, then we know that this is going to be a time ahead of us that can be physically challenging. And that's the nice thing about palmistry, because it gives you insight what to do, what's coming up, how to tweak it. If you know there's a health problem coming up, well, then you at least have a chance to do something about it, to turn your life around. This is where palmistry is so excellent as a tool. And of course, you know, even if it's just a short lifeline, doesn't mean that it necessarily means a short life. You want to check both hands to see if the one is longer. Well, then, you know, you go with that. It might just mean that there's a major change, for example, in the family here. But see here, you see a weak lifeline. It's very thin, it's fragile, it's wavy. It might have a support line here. We call them sister lines to kind of support up that weak lifeline. So here you can see the mark of what is healthy, what is not healthy. The headline, same thing. We want it long, strong, straight if possible. Now, sometimes they will slant down into the moon here. This is the moon area. This rules your mental faculties. The deeper it is and the longer it is, well, then you're a deep thinker. And if it really starts slanting down here to the moon, also goes to show that you're very creative in your way of thinking. Now, if it has a fork here, we call that the writer's fork. Those are very inspired people, loving to dip down into their fantasy here and bring that up as a gift, as a talent. Now, if it's a really short headline, well, then it just goes to show that that isn't the strongest of your senses. If it really stops up here really early, not always a good sign. You want it at least a little bit length of it. And you want it, like I said, straight, but you don't want it red. If it's red, there's a lot of anger going on. If there's any areas in the hand that seems to have any red spots, well, that can do it also and show that there is unbalanced energies. So we want them like deep pink, perhaps, but not red. So yes. For example, when we have a headline that runs straight across like this is like way strong. An individual here who spends a lot of its time here thinking, mental capacity. Somebody who might be very rigid in its way because his or her mental levels are what actually is ruling here in the hand. So, but it definitely shows somebody who's very on target here intellectually as well. Now, if the headline droops like this too much, way down here, well, how does that feel to you? What it does show is like depression, okay? It's like there's no uppity up energy here. It dips down into the moon, gets lost in here. maybe feeling a little sorry for itself, can't really get up and running. Not saying that that necessarily needs to mean any mental disease. We'd have to see, other signs associated with this line to say so. But it goes to show it's more speaking of the writer's fork. And here you see it. If it has two prongs like this and it dips down into the moon, well, the moon is imagination. And so here they can really go down here and get, those incredible novels up and out and running. So if you have it and you don't write, well, maybe you should. If you see this in any friends or family's hands, well, then you know that they have a secret hidden talent there if they're not using it. Now, this is something that any writer would die for. You can have excellent writers producing a lot of good work without it, but they would be really, really envious of you if you have that. Now, touching Luna. Luna is the moon. Once again, like I said, this is where your emotions lay. So this is somebody who uses both the head and one's emotions, one's ability to reflect on things. Now, if it's attached here also to the lifeline down into Venus, then that would be a very harmonious person who brings body, spirit, and mind together here in a good way. So this is like the norm. This is what we like to see in a healthy hand. You probably get the impression when you look at this one. How does that feel? It doesn't really feel too good, does it? Little bumpy here, squiggly line here. Well, it goes to show that this person has had a lot of challenges throughout life, having to find its way. Maybe this person didn't have too much support in life, guidance or whatnot. Pretty much left on perhaps one's own to figure one's way throughout life. So this is not a healthy hand. And the square on a headline, as we will see when we go through the chapters on signs in the hand, well, squares are protection. Here it could show, for example, just as an example, squares in an accident. If somebody had hit their head, say in a car accident, this person would be saved by the square itself and then bridge itself.